Howdy guys, Bookie Laura here. Today am doing another tag video. I've been tagged by Sue at Sue's Book Nook to do the 52 Nifty Bookish Questions Tag, which is quite a long title. Hopefully we can work through them quite quickly because 52 questions is quite mammoth, but here we go. Question number 1. What book are you reading right now? Right now, I brought it with me. I'm reading Hidden Figures. Right now I'm reading Hidden Figures by Margaret Lee Shetterly. Non-fiction, quite intense, but you know, getting there. Question 2, what was the last thing you highlighted? Nothing ever. Question 3, what do you plan to read next? I am expecting that this is going to take me to the end of Feb, so something middle grade March, and I think I might start with The House with Chicken Legs, but we'll see. Question 4, one fiction writer, living or dead, with whom you'd grab a drink. This was an easy one for me because I'm not a very sociable person, so it'd have to be somebody that understands, so I'm going with Matt Haig. Then question 5, one non-fiction writer, living or dead, with whom you'd like to grab a drink. I'm cheating and I'm going with Matt Haig again because he's written both. And then question 6, one poet, living or dead, with whom you'd like to grab a drink. I'm going to make Matt Haig write a poem and have a drink with him. He just would get it. He's just cool. Question 7. One booktuber with whom you'd like to grab a drink. Now this is harder because there are several who I'd love to meet and have time with, but I'm going with Claudia from Spinster's Library. Spinster's Library, is that what it's called? Anyway, I'm going with Claudia because she just cracks me up every video. I just think she's got a great sense of humour, so I know we'd get along great. Question 8. Emily Dickinson or Edgar Allan Poe? Edgar Allan Poe. I went through a weird stage where I read a lot of his as a teenager. Never read any Emily Dickinson. Question 9. Hemingway or Fitzgerald? There are a lot of these where you have to choose between two, and I don't really know anything about either, so I would be just randomly choosing. Question 10. Jane Austen or Charles Dickens? Charles Dickens, because I once read one when I was doing A-levels. Question 11. Harris or Hitchens? I literally do not even know. Oh, although Harris, is that Silence of the Lambs? That is exactly my face. My son is doing it back at me. I don't know. I just don't know. Question 12. Stephen King or Michael Crichton? This is my toughest because actually these are two of my really favourite authors. Who are you going with?
Stephen King.
Oh, I'm going to go with Michael Crichton. Because Stephen King, I love. I've read a lot of his books and loved them, but there have been some that I haven't loved, whereas Michael Crichton, I think he has a better success rate for me. Question 14, Kurt Vonnegut or John Green? I'm going John Green because I read one book. Is it The Slaughterhouse 5? I read it anyway and didn't get it, whereas John Green is just fluffy and fine. Question 15, Shakespeare's poems or plays? Defo plays, because I don't really like poems. I don't get them. Question 16, Adrian Fort or Dalton Gentry? Question 17, Cormac McCarthy or J.K. Rowling? J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter, always.
Yo.
Question 18, Hannibal Lecter or Voldemort? I'm going to go with Hannibal Lecter here because he's scarier than Voldemort. Voldemort, fantastical and what have you. Hannibal Lecter, absolutely terrifying. Question 19, T.C. Boyle or George Saunders? Question 20, good writing or a good story? Definitely a good story. I am all about the plot. If the plot is good, I'll read it, even if the writing's rubbish. If the writing is good, but the plot isn't, I won't. Question 21, YA or children's lit? I'm going with children's lit because it doesn't have annoying romance and insta-love. Yeah, I thought so. Question 22, irony or humour? I'm going to go with humour. Question 23, sci-fi or horror? Sci-fi. Sometimes horror is just too much. Question 24, fantasy or non-fiction? I'm going with fantasy. I think I find non-fiction quite hard work. Question 25, rather find a new favourite contemporary writer or a new favourite old-time great? I'm going with contemporary because when I find a writer that I love, I like to follow them on Twitter and be weirdly obsessive like that, and you can't do that with somebody that's an old-time great. Question 26, sonnet or haiku? Haiku, because they're much shorter. Question 27. I'm not sure I even know how to say this. Sestina or Viennale? I have no idea. Anyway. Question 28. Spending the evening in the library or the bookstore? I'm going with library because I love a library and also the books are free.
Yep.
Question 29. Magazine or Wikipedia article? I probably read more Wikipedia because that is what, I'm just a 21st century girl, but magazines are better. 30, dictionary or encyclopedia? Definitely encyclopedia. When I was young I used to do that weird thing where you read a dictionary, but I mean there's not much to go on, not much quality content in a dictionary. Question 31, the writer I would like to write my biography. I struggled with this, but what I wanted to do was try and think of somebody who's good at writing like a proper strong female character. So I went with Catherine Rundell because I loved when she wrote the girl who's in The Wolf Wilder. I don't remember her name, but she was awesome, and I thought if she can make me sound that awesome, I'm happy. Question 32. I do or do not highlight in my books. No, no, never. Question 33. I do or do not write in my books. No, no, never. Question 34. Earliest memory of a library. I'm sure I went to libraries before this, because my earliest memory of a library was actually quite late. It was as a teenager in a town in Harrogate in Yorkshire where I used to live, and I just really remember that library, and we used to go quite regularly as a teenager, and I think that says a lot. It's where I read all of the Adrian Mole books. That was what I got into.
Whoa.
Question 35. Last time you went to the library was last weekend because our library is awesome. Question 36. Have you ever stolen / accidentally stolen books from the library? When I was a teenager, this is a true story, when I was a teenager I accidentally stole a book from the library because a friend of mine was looking at our bookshelf and I went, yeah, just borrow whatever books you want. And one of them was a library book, and I spent ages looking for it and had to pay a massive fine. That doesn't count. Does that count as stolen if I've paid for it? Question 37. Ballpark. How many books do you own? Between 30 and 40. Not many, I know. Question 38. How many books do you think make a reasonable personal library? As many as you want. I think lots of people think my library is very small. It is, but I don't care. Question 39. So there's Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters and Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. How do you feel about this phenomenon? I mean, I don't get it, but if you want to read it, it's up to you. That is a fantastic zombie impression happening behind the camera right now. Question 40. Horror trope you would like to see get more love. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not so good with the old tropes, so I did Google this to try and find some, and even then I just thought, I don't really know. I don't think I'm as aware of tropes as I should be. Question 41. Something that you think gets underutilised in sci-fi? Again, I don't put that much thought into it. I don't think, oh, here's something I really want to... It's telling me to do this face, so I'm doing it. I just don't know. Question 42. Flash fiction, form of literature or just a short story? I have never even heard of flash fiction. I'm starting to feel very inadequate. If we're learning anything in this video, what I'm learning is that I'm not aware of a lot of things that bookish people should be. Question 43. If you could own one book from all of history, what would it be? I just don't know, because I'm not a keeper of books. I like to read them. I like the reading of a book, not the collecting of books. So I don't think I'm particularly interested in any particular book. Question 44. Audiobooks, same as reading? Yes, definitely. You have partaken in the story, so I don't know why that would be any different. Question 45. Most literary songwriter of your time? I don't know. Baby Shark. Moving on. That is just the most ridiculous thing you've ever said. Question 46. What writer embarrasses you the most because you haven't read them? I don't think I'm particularly embarrassed because I read what I want and I'm not embarrassed by that fact. Thanks for the gross sniffing in the background. But There are a lot of classics that I haven't read and a lot of authors who wrote classics, but I'm not going to because it's not my cup of tea. Question 47, what writer embarrasses you because you've read far too much from them? Again, I'm not embarrassed. I read a lot by a lot of people. Some people might think it's embarrassing, I don't care. Question 48, what is a biography you're looking forward to reading? I'm really looking forward to reading Michelle Obama's biography. I haven't read a biography in ages, but I've heard great things about it. And she's a person who I sort of admire and generally think is fabulous. So I'm looking forward to that. Question 49, do you have a dream reading cubby? I guess, you know, as long as there were blankets and pillows and cushions and you could get perfectly snuggled. But I quite like reading in the armchair for that reason. But I just wish it had like higher sides because then I could, well, I'd just fall asleep. So maybe it's best it doesn't. Question 50, last literary phenomenon that really got your gears grinding. Nothing gets my gears grinding that's a literary phenomenon, that's for sure. Name a literary phenomenon would be a tough enough question for me. Question 51, what was the last piece of literature that changed the way you read? None of them. I just read. Reading is for fun. It's not for changing my life and making me have my gears grinded.
No.
And question 52, what booktuber have you been watching the most recently? There's no particular one. There's several that I generally watch all the content of. So again, Claudia from Spinster's Library, Cara from our Book Garden, Charlie Brooks, Sue from Sue's Book Nook, Dane Reeds I've been catching up a lot with lately. There's loads. I don't think there's any particular one. Anyway, those are my 52 answers. This has got to be one of the longest videos I've done in a while. I am slowly catching up on tags. I've got another one coming up. So look out for that soon. Thanks, Sue, for all the tags. Oh, I should probably tag some people. Oh, this is going to be tough because Sue always tags all the same people that I would. So I haven't seen Dane do this one, and I tagged him in one that he's already done. So I'm going to tag you, Dane, from Dane Reads. I'm going to tag Charlie Brooks, because she doesn't do enough. I'm going to tag Gaia from Gaia Athena, because she also is awesome. That'll do. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.